Okay, I'm going to try and make a video to help you guys get started on your labs. So first thing is you will be given a link to this folder here. And if I just do this, by the way, get shareable link. And I put that in a document. Okay, it's a bit long, but that will be the link to this folder. So you can just pause the video and watch this link. That's the first thing. Now, let's go back into here. So we've got videos, manuals, instructions, software. This is for staff only. And there's a couple more videos which I put here. And you can see I've got one about software download, setting up and running. But I've been asked to make a longer video, so that's what I'm doing now. And these are the exercises. I see there's two of those. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, so let's get started. The folder you want to open is the software folder. And you need to basically download each of these. So you need to download that folder, download that one, download that one. It'll zip these folders up. So when you finish downloading them, just unzip them. Once you've unzipped them, you can just run that one. That's a setup file. And RS emulate. Just got some manuals in there. And you can see this folder has your software. Okay, so you need all these files. You run the setup file and it will use these other files to install properly. And okay, the last one, which is this one, it's actually the biggest one. So it's 623 megabytes. This will take a long time to install. So if you start it, don't press cancel and restart it. I've had students do that and they panic. Just go and make a cup of tea or coffee and it'll take about probably 10, 15 minutes maybe to install. Now, after you've installed all these, you can start running them. So what I'll do is I'll just close these. Okay, no. I don't have to close them. So you run RS Classic first. And you can see here, I've got a couple of things running already. You'll be using the emulator. So EMU just stands for emulator. And to set that driver up, you've got to go to communication, configure drivers, and you do the drop-down menu and choose emulator driver. Once you've chosen that, you just go add new. You can see I've already done mine, so mine's just sitting there. You'll be asked to give an ID number. You can choose either 0, 1, or 2, or 3. It's fine. So if I click on configure, you can see I've given station number 0, station name is 1. So you could probably choose the same thing. And just leave that running. Now you can see a little red cross here. That just means that the emulator software is not running yet. So it doesn't see an emulator, a PLC. It has to be running and you have to have code loaded into it. So down here, this is the emulator. You can see that I've done a link to here, to the bottom. Just go OK if you get this message. All right, so there's my emulator. I'll talk about this more in a minute. Okay, so last one is your RS Logix code. Now I'm just going to close that because I saw there's a program there that I don't want to show everyone. So you start that up. Now I recommend before you do any of the other labs, you can use the tutorial. There's a tutorial here. Now this tutorial was written for when you actually come in to do a lab, but still it's reasonably useful. So if I click on manuals and instructions, this one here. So I still think this is useful. It's got other manuals like the emulate manual and a couple of other things like the instruction set manual. That's useful too. So if I just click on that one. So again, this is written for programming the physical PLC, but most of the instructions are still useful to follow through. So if you do that, so the reason why I'm showing is you can actually go through this process yourself. And it's very, very good instructions. And then right at the end, when it comes to download, you'll download onto the emulator. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. All right. Now, I'm going to make a very basic code here. So File, New. We always use the first one, which is Micrologix 1100 Series B. I don't know, I've never done this before, but you could probably give it a name. I'm going to do something very, very simple here. Actually, what I should be doing is the start of the, if I go back, where is it? Let's see if I get the right one here. Okay. So this is a counter activity. There's some explanation here, which I think you should read so you actually understand what the code's trying to do. But I'll show you actually how to create this code. So B is an internal array of bits, which you can use for internal logic. And it's outputting to an internal bit as well. So this is all internal by the looks of it. And we'll do the first one here. So I've got to just try and remember now what I'm going to code. If I reduce this window down and reduce that, hopefully I can do this. A little bit of mucking around here. Okay, that's probably the best way to do it. Okay, so you want to insert a rung, and you can do it two ways. You can grab it from this menu here, or you can view the instruction palette and grab it from there. Now, this view is quite small. If I change the screen resolution, you probably see this better. But this command is a examine, it's an examine if closed. So I'm going to drag that. You can drop it onto where the green box is. Not if it's red, you can't drop it. So drop it to the green one. There it is there. And a short way to do this one, click on here. So it's binary 0.0. So it's actually the first bit of this one we're going to use. You can actually drag that up and drop it there, and that assigns that. But if you want to put a comment on it, I think it's double click, no, right click. Edit description. And you can write a description in there. So there you go. Now it looks the same. So that's the description. And we're using the counter up block here. So like I said before, you can use that menu there, or you can go to here, CTU, drag, goes up the other end. And see counter 5. So you can actually double click in there and type that in that way. And that gives you the option to write a comment. And the preset is 10. Accumulated value will just, accumulated value should work on its own, but I see they got, I'll put it in the same as that code anyway. Yeah. Okay, so it's exactly the same. And rung one, if the CTU is false, it will write 0 to the count up enable bit. If the CTU is true, it will write a 1. Now, once you've written a line of code, you can verify it. You can verify that one line, or if you've got a couple of lines of code, you can verify the whole project. And you can see there are no errors there. Next thing to do is to save it. So this particular lab is called the counters. So I'll just go save and put it, well, wherever I want to put it. I'll put it as counters. Now, what you do here with the emulator is you actually have to load up that code. So let's look for documents. I got to try and find where I've saved it. If you try pressing 0 and it has a problem with that, you just go up. So 0 is actually the PC station ID. So the emulator has to have a new station number. Right, so we loaded that code up there. It's weird how it works, but that's just how it works. And then you can go, let's see if this works. If I go online, it doesn't know what to go online to. So I think I have to actually go into comms to do that. What it's trying to do is just trying to go online with the physical PLC. So that was probably not a good way to do that. It'll come back with an error message after attempting a few times. There you go. So go to comms, system comms, and so you can see there's a physical PLC there, but I've turned it off. And here is my emulator. The one that I named Simon is there. And now I can go, I'll just see if I can do this. If I can go online. Yeah, because I've already loaded the code into the emulator, I don't have to download it now. So it's running now. Now to get this started, we should toggle the bit. And let's see what happens. Counter. Not a lot going on there. Let's try entering that as 0. Oh, it's in program mode. Okay, so it needs to be in run mode. That's my mistake. So run. Yep. So CU is gone high. Now, I think the way it works is if I right click and toggle that bit again, see it counts 1. So every time this bit here toggles on and off, it counts up. And if I do that 10 times, which is going to take me a while, but anyway, that's fine. 3, 4, 5. So you can see the emulator is allowing me to run this code because we don't have a manual push button. We have to do it this way. Last one, done. So as soon as it's gone up there, it 10. Okay, yeah, so 10. Now it's done. That's the done bit's gone high. I toggle that again. Okay, the accumulator keeps going up. Right, you can see the accumulator keeps counting bits. Looks like that one's going on off. So you have to look at the functionality of that block to understand that a bit further. And if you want to do that, I'll go back up to here and go to manuals and instructions. Okay, and you can probably easier, let's see what we do find here. CTU. Okay. Here we go. CTU, which is chapter 8, page 173. Okay. I'll just expand that up a bit. So counter control status bits, timer done. How counters work. Okay, so this goes on about how the counters actually work. And I'd encourage you to read this because it talks about the preset, the accumulated value. So these values here, you've got your done, count up, count down. Just sort of explains that. So the counter continues to count when the accumulator is greater than the preset. So it keeps counting. And some information about that. So just have a look there and see what you can learn. Okay, so when you go to program again, I think you can insert wrong. but remember it's still running. So it's better to go offline when you are okay. Yeah, it's better to go offline if you're going to make edits to your code, right? And don't forget to make sure you save it, and then you can download it into your, okay. Well, fix the errors, then you can download it into your thing. So hopefully that will get you started. Thank you for watching.